Hi everyone, I think I'm live. I'm live on TikTok. Let me know if you can hear me okay if you're watching on YouTube. I'm not sure there's anybody here at the moment, so we shall just wait for some lovely peoples. I'm going to do some colour swatching while I am waiting, if I can find my colour swatchy piece of card. You will do. Try and get a bit of a better view on for TikTok, I think. Bring my reference photo up like this. If you're going to be joining in with the live feed, or if you're rewatching this after the live feed has finished, don't be afraid to use whatever colours you want. There's no right or wrong with regards to the colours that we're going to be using. It's entirely up to you. So any sort of orange based, if you want to stick with it looking pumpkin like. So I'm just grabbing a few to get started with. Hey Georgina. You can tell my kids had her hands all over these. She likes using them, but they can get a little bit mucky. Hi Ben. If you go to my website, BonnitaDoodles.com, and you go to the blog section, you're able to download the line work and the reference. I didn't put a link in the YouTube info, which is silly. But if you just go to BonnitaDoodles.com, go to the blog section and look in there, you'll see it immediately, and you can download the PDF line work and the PDF reference. And the reference I've created myself in Procreate. So if you want to join in, just go grab them. It doesn't have to be tonight. You can be any time you want, really. Yeah, and wait till a few more people have arrived, and then we'll crack on. I'm just trying to see what yellow I want for the base. Could go with that one, I think. Hi Thomas. So I think they're the oranges I'm going to pick. So if for any reason, or if by any chance you have the Spectrum Noir colours, out of the oranges I've gone Canary CT3, Mango, which is B02, OR1, which is Satsuma, Moonlight, which is GY1, and Bright Orange, which is OR3. If you want to screenshot it for the guys on TikTok, they're the colours that I'm going to be using on the orange section of the pumpkin. Everything else I'm probably just going to grab and go, but he's got a brown stem and a little bit of green, so I might do that as the base. I'll go do that now. Yep, no worries. We're still waiting on a few people, so you've got a bit of time if you want to go and download it. Be a bit too. So is that one? In fact, that was probably the better one out of the two. What's the bamboo like? More earthy. I'm quite tempted to okay, so out of the greens, for those on TikTok, if you want to screenshot the markers, I know there's not many of you watching, but there they are. And for you guys on YouTube, if you watch it back, it's Green Grey 4, which is GG4, Bamboo, which is DG2, and Pear Green, which is CG3. So they're the greens that I'm going to be using. So the only other thing really are the browns. That's quite a nice one to use. I need a much lighter one, I think. Ivory's probably a bit too light, maybe pecan. No, it's too pink. Let's try the ivory. A bit too light. Yuck. Not appropriate. Could go with a brown grey, I guess. It's quite light though, that one. That's not bad for the shadows. That was that one, wasn't it? No. I'm going to go brown grey 3. Let me try the 3. Hi Erica. That's a classic. I want classic, although it doesn't really make a difference. Brown grey 3. Oh, sorry, I just whacked the microphone. Nope. Oh my god, help me find it. Oh, I don't know what colour. Muted brown. You'll do. Right, so for the stalk, I'm using chestnut, which is MB4, muted brown, which is MB1, and sand, which is EB1. So for you guys on TikTok. So all together, I'll put them on YouTube so you can screenshot if you need. They're all the colours. Come on camera, focus. They're all the colours, and then for TikTok, they're all the colours. Pencils will just go ahead and do whatever. Right, I'm going to separate my greens, my browns and my oranges, and we're going to start with the browns. Hi Hannah. And we're just going to start from the top. I have lined mine in orange, but that's partly to make it easier for you guys to see on the live feed. Because it's easier for you to see the line work than it is to have like either, you know, really like graphite or something. I've just realised I'm going to need a much lighter yellow for the lights in his eyes. That'll do. Okay, we'll start with the stalk then. I'm going to try and lighten some of that up because it is quite orange. Obviously, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. The purpose of this tutorial is to teach you how you can use markers as a underbase for pencil colours. You ideally want to use alcohol markers because they blend together much better. Because what the alcohol does is it spreads through the paper, so it makes the actual blending of the colours much easier. So you'll see as we sort of go through the picture. So always start with your light colours first. It's exactly the same if you're using markers as you are with colour pencil. I'm hoping that Gary is here drawing along, because I know that he wanted to draw along at the same time. I don't know where Leon is either. I know that he wanted to too, but I guess we can do they can do a playback if needed, playing catch up. Okay. So is everyone ready for me to get started? Just give me a quick thumbs up if you're ready for me to get started with the tutorial. Again, if you've only just joined, if you go to BonnitaDoodles.com, go to the blog section. In there is the line work and the reference that we're going to be working from. I've created the reference in Procreate. I'd love if you could tag me if you do actually do the tutorial. It would be great, because I'd love to see how you all get on. So yeah, please do. Hi, I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you? Hi, and I am right. Okay, let's go then. So my first light color I'm going to be using is muted brown. Again, if you don't have these, just go with whatever you feel. Just look at the lightest color you can see in your image, and just find something as close to that as possible. So all we're going to do is first of all just get one layer down of our lightest color. Alcohol markers generally dry lighter, sorry. So if you want something to appear darker, you can work over it again and again and again, but it gets to a certain point and then there's no more colour to go down. So just one layer of the light. Good. We're going to go then to our midtones, and we're just going to again look at our reference. Doesn't have to be exact to the reference, so please don't worry about it looking absolutely perfect. Just you know, be a bit free with it. I've realised you're losing my face, not that that's a bad thing. There we go. So we're just gonna do in our little creases and crevices that we can see on the stalk part of the pumpkin. I'm just using the very tip of my pen, and that automatically starts to create a bit of shape. Then thank you, Erica. Then we'll go in with the next darkest one, and then we can just build up again in our very darkest areas. Now the point of using this as a base is that when we come in to do our coloured pencils, we can really get in there and get some dark colour down. But if you are only going to use pens, if you just keep going over the same area, it will eventually get darker and darker. But what you want to be careful, and what you have to make sure is with alcohol markers, is you have the right paper. If you don't choose the right paper, it will not work whatsoever. So you need a high art tin, you need a marker based paper or a Bristol paper. So they're hot pressed. So there's very little texture. It's very tightly compressed, and it's let me do it on here actually. So So this is just a standard bit of printer paper. Okay. So when you hear the term feathering, it's where it bleeds, where it feathers outside the edge that you're drawing on. So it's not going to show up very well. There we go, on YouTube. So it's spread across the paper. That's feathering. When we talk about bleeding, that's when it comes through the back of the paper. So ideally, you want a paper that is thick enough to handle lots of layers of pen. So as you can see, you can barely see the pen through the paper that I've tested on. So a really good smooth paper, like a Bristol paper, is really, really good. Yeah, I normally use colour pencils, but I'm just showing how you can use markers as a base. So we can pretty much leave that as is, because we can add a lot more detail to that once we come in with our pencils. So that was the main stalk colour. So we're going to do this green section on the bottom here. Yeah, daily round is fine. So again, we're going with the lightest, which for me is bamboo, I think. I don't think it's pear green. I'm pretty sure it's bamboo. Let's just test that. That might be pear green, actually. No, I'm going to do bamboo as my base. But I'm going to do this a little bit all over the place. I'm just going to squiggle it in, and I'm not going to fill the whole area. I'm then going to go in with my mid colour. So just going to go in with the mid colour. Now I'm going to go in with my dark colour. Again, you can just sort of just make general messy shapes. It doesn't have to be perfect. Far from it, actually. So I'm going to show you now how to do the stalk with the colour pencil, because what I don't want you to do is be put off by the idea that it's not going to work. So I want you to be able to see that it will work, so it encourages you to carry on, if that makes sense. I haven't got any appropriate pencils out. I'm just going to use what's on my desk, which will probably be very inappropriate. Let's use Payne's Grey and Captain Morton Violet. So I'm going to use Captain Morton Violet up in here, and then we're just going to start creating the really, really dark sections that we want. I'm going to use a little bit of Payne's Grey. Darken up even more. We can really go in and add some more depth. Yeah, walnut should be fine. Walnut and Payne's Grey together. Again, I'm not looking for specific or absolute likeness to the reference. This is about learning how to use the two mediums together. I'm not looking at, you know, dead on likeness. So we'll go in around where the stalky bit meets the greeny bit. That's my technical term right there. And we've got a lot of shadowing down on the very bottom here. But I'm just doing like scribbles. I'm not really doing it in any word is, any pattern or anything. It's just a bit scribbly, really. Try and keep some highlights in between. Try and keep some real nice high highlights in there. Hi. So keeping the highlights in there will create automatic texture. There we go. Hi, Stephen. Okay, what I might want to do is add a little bit more shading around here, but rather than use pencil, I'm going to go back in with my mid-tone, which I think was my sand. Because you can use markers over the top of pencils. So I'm just going to fill in a little bit more with the mid-tone. There we go. And then I'm just going in with Cap and Mortem. Create some really nice shapes and nicks and nooks and crannies, and just detail little dots, and go to town with it if you want. There we go. So I think I'm fairly happy with the stalk. I don't want to do any more on that, but I just wanted to stop and show you that that's how quickly it can develop. So don't lose hope as we work through the rest, but the rest we're just going to work on doing the marker base to begin with. So I think I'm going to fill this eye socket in first. This is the one I'm going to go with. So you want the lightest yellow to white that you can find, and I would keep the actual flame itself white. So just draw around the flame itself.
Very, very sorry.
What's the matter?
But I'm here with a tiny person.
I'm to introduce you to the new tiny member of the family.
His name's Woody.
Come on then, Woody.
He's small. I also have some drawings I would like to show you.
Hey, little mama. This is a YouTube live feed as well. Right, hang on. She wants to show Woody off. Here's Woody.
You have to flip over.
The little baba. You're all right, little man. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. There he is. Look, he's so small. And I know. I thought they were lovely. Emily would like to show you some of them, some of her drawings.
Please don't laugh. Which one should I show it to?
Well, I don't know. What one do you want to show it to?
Show it to Tiki Talk. That's Maddox style. I don't get why. That one. That one's my favourite. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that. Which is my least favourite. I don't like that. I don't get what that one is. I just do it.
Look at your cheek.
Have that one. So that one.
He is really, really, really cute.
I have that and that one.
Let me see if I can get you very carefully up to the camera.
I also have that one.
There he is. Are you cutie booty? Hmm?
That one. And I just drew this one.
Yeah, I like that one. It's good.
Have you seen all of them?
I have, yes, but I have another look afterwards. Okay, so I've got to
There's
crack
also
on.
the other side, which is the flipped over side, so you have to flip this side over.
Oh, I
to
know,
see
but
these.
we're actually doing a tutorial tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got to crack on.
Come here, tiny baby. Hey, baby.
Okay, so the lightest on the inside. Wonder what Daddy's doing
Dad's sitting down playing
on his game. Yeah, ivory should, hang on, it might be a bit on the brown side. Let me, yeah, ivory's a bit pink. Have you got light yellow? That's what I used, LY1. I mean, you can try it. It's nice and light. It's just on the pinker side, that's all. Or even cream. You might get away with cream, actually. Cream's quite fleshy too. I'm going to go with Moonlight, which is the next one. So what we want to do here is look for a smooth blend. So this is where I'm going to show you how you can start blending your pens together. So you go with the next one out. And you'll see it's quite a rough blend. So you then need to come back with your lighter colour and then blend between the two lines. And what you want to do is saturate the paper, so as the alcohol moves it helps to blend the colour. Then I'm going to go for the mango. I'm hoping this is going to be okay. Hang on, let me, yeah. So again, we're just going to come from the outer edge. And we'll need to, in my case, the honey moonlight, sorry, and then we're going to again blend over where those joins are. And just be patient, you have to give it time. Keep blending, saturate the paper. And then it will give you a much softer blend. I mean, looking at the reference, actually, that one can come right behind the flame, so we can bring that one down. Almost looks like an eyeball now. Blend with the mid. Try and do it before it's had time to dry. And then we're going to blend with the lighter one. Yeah, any sort of orangey colour will do, really. Blurry, shouldn't be blurry, it's in focus. Is that better? Hi Rob. Thank you. Yeah, I've got a few more in mind I want to do, but I've got to get a commission and stuff done. My desk is being annoying. So now we want to go with our darkest, almost red, which for me is classed as bright orange, but it is not. It's actually pretty red. And that we need right under here, the darkest sections. Now this is going to take some blending, so just keep your orange and your red in your hand, and you're just going to need to blend through the two. In fact, I blended a lot quicker than I thought it would, so that's good. So I'm going to need to go with my Moonlight. But each time you need to keep blending through the colours, and then that way you get a much smoother blend. So you've got that depth happening there. And then at this point, I think I might go in very gently with a bit of Captain Morton Violet, but you can use a deeper red if you want to stick with markers. Hi. You should have a pretty smooth lot of blending going on now. Now, because alcohol markers are made from alcohol, you can, to a point, manipulate pencils with them, but you do have to be careful. So I'm just going to go in with my darkest again and go over where I've been with the pencil. Just to blend it down. And then again, work through all my different colours. But there's a lot more work that goes into doing markers. I think that a lot of people realise, and they sort of don't do enough layering when it comes to the blending side of things. So they get quite frustrated because it's not blending as smooth. Yeah, the trouble is on YouTube, because the lighting is so crap, I've got to have my ISO very high and my my whatever, very wide. So sadly it does make it quite blurry. So let me try and change that, because my ISO's on 800.
Sorry if I'm interrupting. I drew something.
Wow.
You can show them live if you want.
Go on then if you want to show
I don't
them.
mind all my crusty fingerprints.
Very good. The lighting's not very good, you see. That's why if you turn that lamp on for me, I'll see if that makes a blind bit of difference. Yeah, I do quite a lot with markers.
Yeah, I see a difference. It looks more Halloweeny with that.
That's really good, Amelie. Well done.
Thank you.
Really good.
The hardest part was the eyelashes. Don't want to make them too long or too small.
No, you did a great job. Well done. I haven't paid much attention. They're still there. Still there. I am answering questions on YouTube as well as TikTok. So I'm dual feeding just because it helps everybody. I'm just zooming in a little bit on... Is that better on YouTube or not really? Okay, so let's work on this eye next, I think. It's quite pink in the reference, but I don't want it to be pink. I quite fancy doing a bit of a contrast colour, so I'm wondering whether I want to do it purple. I think, yeah, she loves doing art. She really does. I am quite tempted to do purple because it's a nice contrasting colour against the orange. While I'm here, actually, let's colour the stem of the candle, and I think what I need to do is get rid of that line. Eraser, where have you gone? I am so prepared today, as always. My eraser's disappeared. Let's have to use that one. I've just used whatever colour I've got to hand, to be honest, lovely. So whatever colour you want. This is where, if you want to, you can actually get away with using a blender pen. So I can't get rid of that very well at all. So I'm going to use my lightest and come right up. And come in slightly. And then I'm going to grab my blender, wherever the blender's disappeared to. And I'm just going to go over the top. That's just going to blend out some of those lines a bit easier. Okay, that's better, I think. Let's soften that up a little bit too. So blenders are a bit misleading because they're not actually blenders. They're just pure alcohol in a barrel. So it's mainly used for creating highlights. It basically sucks the colour away. What do we think to a purple eye? I think I should just go for it, to be honest. Lilac. Have I got lilac in... What is lilac? HB1. HB1. I'm not going to find my lilac colour now, am I? Oh, there it is. Okay, so the centre I want highlighted. You can always use a white pencil, just to help blend it out. So for the highlight, I'm using lilac. Then for my mid-tones, I'm going to be using purple. So again, we're just going to blend over the edging. Just want to get that paper saturated. I'm going to come in again. Over quickly. There we go, and then we can go in with our darkest, which one of my favourite is called Regal, but cranberry is pretty nice. What paper are you using? Paper is vitally important when using markers. So we're just going to do the very edge with the darkest and the very corners with the darkest. Then we're going to go to our mid. And then we're going to go to our light. What type of paper though? It needs to be something smooth, like a Bristol board, a marker board, a smooth card, because what happens is when it's quite cottony or it's not very smooth, it feathers out towards your edges. If you find it feathers too much, if you draw, instead of going literally up to the line, which gives it the opportunity to then feather outwards. Leave a tiny gap between where you draw and your line. Give it time for the alcohol to move, and then if you find that you've still got a bit of space afterwards, then you can just go in with your very tip and fill it. But give yourself a little bit of a space for it to then feather out if needed. But the smoother the paper, the better. So I use Bristol board. Bristol board's really, really good. So I'm going to grab my white. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a highlight at the very top. So this is a white luminance I'm using. Hot pressed. Cold pressed is normally very textured. You're going to be annoyed with me. I'm going to have to play back and do. I can't pick colours in time. We don't have to be like exact. You really, really don't. No, hot press is definitely best. Hot pressed is nice and smooth because as it goes through the roller, it's really compressed. Yeah, whereas cold compressed, it can't get as smooth, so it tends to have a lot of texture. Like watercolour paper, for example, a lot of that tends to be cold pressed. So both eyes are done, and we know that these shadow areas need to be pretty dark. So what I don't want to do is go in directly with black. Don't think I want to use a blue. I'm going to look at using a really dark green, I think. No. I do have black blue, actually. That might be nice. That's all right. It's easy to do. I get mixed up all the time. Let's go with black blue. I don't know now. Yeah, because actually I'll use Payne's Grey over the top of it. So in the darkest areas of the reference, I'm not going to do any of these lines because when you come over to fill the space, normally you would do the pumpkin first, then the eyes. But I'm trying to keep everybody entertained, so I've started the eyes. But ordinarily I would actually... Oh, come on. Sorry, you have probably had me pause then. My OBS stopped connecting. Okay, well, I'm back now. Okay. Sorry, I'm dual feeding on YouTube as well as TikTok. If you want to do darker colours over the top, if you want nice, clean, crisp lines, wait for it to dry. Wait for it to fully dry. Wait for all the alcohol to dissipate. Otherwise, you're going to end up having a really bad feathering going on. So just going to go all the way around. If you want to have a go at this tutorial, if you go to BonnitaDoodles.com, on my blog section, you'll have both downloads you need and the information required to do the tutorial. I'm currently recording this live on YouTube, so you can always come back and watch it on YouTube if you want to have a go. I'm doing this solid because I'm going to add any highlights I want with a white pencil afterwards. Ooh. They're Spectrum Noir. They're on par quality-wise with Copics, but they're much cheaper. So that's, sorry for the guys on TikTok, Spectrum Noir Illustrator. Okay, right, I'm just gonna get all the other orange done now. So let's go with the lightest colour in the lightest sections I see, which is down here. There's one at the back. There's one at the front. There's a couple down here. So these are our highlight colours. It's dark blue. Number is TB9, black blue. That's the one I've just used. So yeah, I'm just putting the lightest where I can see highlights. The mouth we'll be doing as a separate entity. So I'm going to go in with my mid-tone, which is not that one. Let's go with Mango, B02, so Mango. I don't know if that's showing up, but Mango, B02. Yeah, black blue really gives you a lot more to play about with, because I can then go in and add a bit of highlight here and there if I want to. Like I can literally just go in and then I can go in with a black pencil for the absolute darkest, and then you've just got your mid-tones done for you, so it's a lovely colour. Okay, so the rest of it, I'm just literally going to colour the whole thing in with my mid-tone. And when it comes to the highlights, I'm just going to do some lines across it. If you don't want to lose your line work, go in with, I'm just going to do it for today's purposes, but just go in with a darker and draw your line if you want to. I wouldn't go in with one so dark as this, but it gives you the idea. Then you can go in and again just get all your colour in. Some raggedy highlights in here and there. Really doesn't matter how neat you are, because these are just your base, but it all adds towards the texture. So I'm going to show you very quickly how we're just going to very roughly put in some texture on this section here. I'm just going to do a few lines, some spots, and we're going to go back with our mid-tone and we're just going to blend over it, even where the spots were. And it just adds even more texture. Too far there. Can't draw in the lines apparently. There we go. This is where pencil lines actually work in your favour, because it gives you added texture. Yeah, it's so easy to add texture with markers, I find. Just going over some of where my lines were. Blend that one out a bit more so it's not quite as yeah, it's good because you can be a bit rough and ready with these, which is always nice. Oh, Prismacolors will work really well. Pro markers, sorry. No, Pro markers or Prismacolor? Right, we've got some texture happening here where he's got the sort of the creasing of the eye. I think I want something a bit less red. I wonder, no, the cranberry I think is going to be, I think maybe a yellow ochre. I need something more, that looks like mustard. Beige possibly. Let me try that. No. Tan. Yeah, tan works quite well. So I just wanted something that looked a bit earthier than red. Or that red I was using. So I'm swapping over some of the bright orange sections with tan to give it more of a muddier contrast. Just adding little texture bits. How are we doing? Can we all see okay? Rough and ready is my thing. So I've got itchy nose again. I always get an itchy nose whenever I do live Facebooks. No, YouTubes. I think it's because I know that people can see my face. So my face goes, I know, I'm going to have itches in the most inappropriate places possible. So you look like a right idiot. Oh, thank you. Have a good day. Because I don't want it to be too different, I am going to add a little bit of the previous colour in just to help colour match the side so it doesn't look quite so drastically different. Blend those out a bit. Polychromos are my absolute favourite pencil colours. I'm going to add a little bit more lighting above the eye, I think. So I'm just going in with my lightest. What does it mean when you have an itchy nose? Because it's really driving me mad. I need my brown. Probably going to have to add more of the texture detail of the eye and the cracks and things, obviously with the pencils, which is the whole point. I'm just going to rough them in now so I know where I'm going with it. Thank you. Might as well just do these now while I've got the pen in my hand. Right, that's the mid, isn't it? Yeah. Let's just carry on filling. Can you tell what you use to sketch, like a method? Varies. I'll freehand, trace down. Most of the time for speed I'll trace down, but it just depends on what I'm doing really. Especially for commissions I'll trace down because we want to be as exact as possible. Sorry, but what about that marker lying beside? Yeah, as long as the lid's not kept off forever, it's fine. That's all right. I'd be doing the same thing, to be perfectly honest. Is my face in the wrong place on YouTube? Shall I move my mug over a bit? That better? That's better, isn't it, for YouTube? Okay. Let's keep going. It's good to choose a subject that it doesn't matter if you're a bit messy with, isn't it? I use illustrators, Spectrum Noir illustrators. They're my favourite markers to use. Much more affordable than Copics and very much on par with the quality. Right, I'm going to go in with the, what they class as the dark orange. Just add some texture. Oh, do you mean as in alcohol markers? Right, Capel Molten Violet. I'm not going to use it all the way down. I'm just going to pick certain spots that can be a little bit deeper. It just helps push that shadowing a little bit more. Right, where the dark cracks are, I'm just going to use my Payne's Grey. So it matches the colour I've got inside the pumpkin. Add a little bit of texture in here. Again, I'm just doing like wibbly wobbly, I don't know even what you'd call it, scribbly type. Yeah, it's so much quicker with markers, and I think the more confident you get with them as well, the quicker in general you end up becoming. So let's go in with our, just very roughly do some spots and scratches and marks. All under here is very dark, so I'm not even going to bother with a mid-tone. I'm just going to go in my darkest first, and then I'm going to go with the orange on top. There's 3 involved in the pumpkin colour, the skin colour. Oh, well, I'm going to have to make his bottom bigger. So again, you can be rough and ready with this type of thing, because it's just for fun, isn't it? It's just doing something a little bit different without having to worry about being perfect. Not quite orange. I want, yeah, you. I'm going to blend over some of what I've done with that brown. Hi, Bill. Need to be much darker under here, so I'm going to grab the dark orange. Not bad. Hope you're well. Honestly, markers really do speed the whole game up. They really do make a difference. I haven't got a buff titanium, but I would. Oh, hang on. Buff titanium? Buff titanium. No. You are not. You are not. I've got no buff titaniums. I swear I have one. Buff titanium. Primrose you will have to do, I think. Oh, no. Oh. Yay, found one. Okay, I'm just going to go in. I don't want to do too much down there, but I want to do some where it just picks it out. Don't use the pencils heavy on top of the markers, just keep it light. You don't need to be heavy. Ideally you want to let these undercolours do the majority of the work, but I just want to show you how it's doable. Where is my lightest? There. I know, because like I've used it so few times in the last lot of portraits, it's never to hand anymore. Scary stuff, huh? Right, this is my absolute lightest colour. So I can literally blend over the whole lot if I wanted to with the lightest colour. I'm going to do the inside of that nose now. Hi! Right, I'm just going to add a bit more with the Caput Mortem. Try and give it a bit more shape and roundness in some of the areas. Oh, hang on, before I forget, let's get the cracks in above the eyes before I forget that. Yeah, they're great markers. What I'm quite tempted to do is I'm going to just try my dark indigo and make some of these corners even more darker. So I'm just lightening up the pressure as I come closer to the centre, but I want to keep it quite dark in those corners. I think she was working sorry, my desk is creaky. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so I can get in and I'm diverting. Let's just get the pumpkin bit where I'm happy. Right, the shadow of the eyeball. Yeah, it's really annoying because it's just rubbing against the other bit of desk. The creaking of her door. So we can really get the shadow in under here. It all makes sense once we start doing the mouth as well. So don't forget, if you want to have a go at drawing this, please do tag me if you do have a go. But if you go to BonnitaDoodles.com, it's in the blog section on my website. And you can download everything you need. So it's just a pumpkin I designed in Procreate specifically for this tutorial. For the pencil sections, I'm just using my polychromos, which is what I use for all my drawings. can add a little bit of shadow around the bottom here just to add a bit of roundness to the eye. That's better, yeah. I want to give him that real roundedness so it really looks like he's squinting that eye. So we're just doing the again, the squinty section, for lack of a better way to describe it. Like our crow's eye, I guess. I tell you what though, what you don't hear squeaking anymore is my chair. It's one thing at least. Okay, so if I want to, I can come in and just, I don't need to add a lot, but if I wanted to, I could just add a few refined. I do in here, I need to add a couple of little highlights. Just in here, not many, but just enough. Couple in here because we've obviously got that candlelight reflecting. It certainly wouldn't be a tree as you know it if I did, can you imagine? In fact, I might come in and just then we've got a couple along the nose. But again, you really want your lighter colours to do most of the work for you, but if for any reason they get lost, these white pencils, this is a luminance that I'm using buff titanium, which isn't a pure white. But overall the textures, I'm loving that eye. That eye has turned out pretty good actually. Can do some little notches and marks on the flesh. Again, you can really go to town on something like this. So if you're new to markers, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes, because you can just really enjoy the process. So just have fun with it all. They are Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers. They're my favourite markers to use. I'm going to use my dark colour to create the shadow underneath. I'm going to use my lighter, wasn't canary, I need to get rid of that before I end up using that accidentally. It's that one, just to blend out the very edge. Well, I finish at 10. The live feed finishes at 10. I imagine it will probably take us up to that time. I don't think it will go any later than 10. No mistakes in art. They are happy accidents. Absolutely. I'm definitely new to them. It's definitely not going to work as effective if you're not using alcohol markers. Alcohol markers are the tricks to doing this type of art. I mean, you can do it with other colouring pens, but it's the alcohol in the markers that allow them just to blend so seamlessly. My YouTube's under the same name. If you head to my page on here, click on my profile picture, it will take you to my page here on TikTok, and then in there you'll see the link to my YouTube. But it's all under Bonnita Doodles. But the stuff to download is all on my website, which is bonnitadoodles.com. And it's under the blog section. Right, so let's do this eye, because I'm really liking the rough texture down here. I don't think I want to do too much more to that. So let's go with the eyeball. Let's get the gooey, stringy, fleshy bit done. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go light over the whole thing, keeping the eyeball clean. And then we're just going to work through the different colours that we have and create sort of some really dodgy lines, so really wiggly. Hey, you're over on YouTube now. You want to keep light in all of that, so don't cover up too much of your base. And then I'm just going to probably go in just to make them look a little bit more 3D, and I'm going to go under some of them just to make it look like they're sort of going over and under. And oh, bless you, thank you for my rose. So again, just doing all these little details just helps bring some of the highlights forward a little bit more. Helps it make it look like they're sort of weaving in and out over each other. So what I can do is go in between with the colour of the pumpkin underneath. I want to make it a little bit more so it goes over, so it's a bit more 3D. So I want to grab my titanium. When is it in your time zone now? So you're an hour ahead. You're an hour ahead, so it'd be 11 o'clock for you. I use Illustrator markers, Spectrum Noir illustrators. So I'm just going in now with my white luminance. Hey, Carlos. Oh, that's cool. There we go. I think that looks quite good. Looks quite gruesome. I'm not worried about it looking super shiny. Thank you. This is what they look like. Okay, so now we're going to do the eyeball. So the eyeball we are going to need different colours with. So I'm just going to find probably an ice grey. That'll do for the base, I think. And think about where you want your highlight to be. Leave white space. This is exactly what I mean by leaving negative space if you ever hear me talk about it. So my highlight's going to be across here. So ice grey 7 might be a bit too much of a jump. Let's try ice grey 4. I could possibly. So ice grey 4. Yeah, I think I need to go 7 actually. Let's just brave it. No, let's go 6. Let's go 6. You don't have to use these markers. It's just a tutorial based around how you can use markers with coloured pencils. You can use any alcohol markers you have, but ideally alcohol markers are the best ones to use. Just doesn't matter what brand, to be honest. Going over with the light colour again just to blend that out. I think I'm going to probably stick with the green for the eyeballs. So we're going to use the green that we've used with the stem just so we don't have to get any more colours out basically. So again, think about where your highlight's going to sit and leave some negative space. Get your lighter of the colours down first. And with the darker colour, especially if you've got a brush pen, you can just simply, I would go from the outside. Don't push down too hard, but just gently push down. And it will just create these lines for you, and then you can go in between with just some little squiggles. And I'm going to do the outside line darker because that's what it's got in the reference. And then I'm going to blend over with the lightest again. I'm going to use the blue black that we used for all the dark areas so far. I made the reference pick up in Procreate, so it's one that I've designed myself. If you want to have a go at drawing it, this is for personal use only though. Please don't sell it on, or anything like that. But I'd love you if you could tag me in it if you do have a go. But if you go to BonnitaDoodles.com, the reference and line work and all the info you need is on my website. I'm going to use the lightest of the greys in the pupil area, just to keep that highlight. And in fact, I'm quite tempted with my dark blue just to add a bit more detail in. And I'm going to grab my medium green again. It's BonnitaDoodles.com, and it's in the My Blog section on the website. So just click on where it says blog and you'll see it. And then just for bits I want to lighten up slightly, I'm going to get my buff titanium again. Oh, don't even get me started on printing. Mine's blown. I am dual feeding on YouTube as well, so I'm not talking to myself, I promise. I'm talking to everybody. I am using Spectrum Noir marker paper. It's specifically paper for markers. It looks like, oh, it's right there. Yeah, looks like that. It's called Premium Marker Pad, and it's 240 GSM, and it's purposely to hold the inks. But any like Bristol paper, marker paper, anything like that, comic paper is all good for this type of work. Done the highlights, haven't I? So I'm pretty happy with the eyeball. I think we need some bloodlines in there, don't you think? I think I'm going to add it with... No, let's do it with markers. That's the whole point of today. It's on my website. If you go to BonnitaDoodles.com, it's on the blog section of my website. He's doing it really fine with the fine tip end. I think he looks sufficiently bloodshot, don't you? Quite happy with that actually. But if you could tag me in it, if you have a go, I'd love to see how you do. I'll duet some as well. I think it'd be really fun. Well, I'm just going to go around the very edge with my Caput Mortem because I just want to really make it look 3D. This is going to be recorded and left up on my YouTube channel. So if you want to draw along anytime, you can take your time over doing it. There's no rush. Just go to my live feed section in my YouTube channel and then you'll see it all in there. And then you'll be able to have a go and you won't have that panic of having to get it all done so quickly. So yeah, there's no rush. So you can really take your time with it. It's just to show you how you can use your markers, get them blended well, and how you can use them both together to just give you some really awesome artwork. It's just, I love it. I love using markers and pencils together. I do have an Instagram, yeah. All of my socials are under Bonnita Doodles. So you can come find me. I am desperately trying to get to 10k, but sadly I'm losing followers faster than I'm gaining them on my Instagram. I was advised to start uploading some reels, which I did. One's done okay-ish, the other one's flopped completely, and I went from 8,835 followers to 8,820 something followers, so it's all going a bit poop over there. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm happy with what's happening in this eye socket. I don't think I need to do a lot. I am missing quite a vital. I'm going to make that bigger, I think. Much more dramatic. Right, let's do these dodgy teeth, shall we? So, pretty much the whole of it's going to have a yellow base, I think. So I'm going to go with my Moonlight. Thank you. I'm going to move you a little bit on TikTok, just so you've got a bit of a better view. Is that better? Maybe a bit closer. I'm just going to go over the whole lot. Gonna make sure I draw around the seeds. I don't want to be drawing all the seeds in later on, so I'm just going to draw around them at the moment. We'll do that bit separately. Okay, so that's all the lights in. Let's go with our mid. I think I'm going to use my mango. Thank you. And then, in fact, I think actually I can probably go straight in with my tan and do these shadow areas straight away to at least get them in. Yes, please. Hmm? Well, it should do, yeah. Let's just get all that shadow in. It's tan, which is TN6, which is one of my old postcodes. I'm just going to go in between the teethies. He's got such beautifully brushed teeth. He's really taken care of his teeth. I'm just going to make notches and mess. I'm not going to worry about being precise here. Any dark brown will do, my lovely. Any dark brown. Coffee bean, bark, walnut. Some of these are the newer colours, so you might not have them. So yeah, we're just going to make little notches and mess and... Again, we're not looking for perfection. Yeah, we've got 2 cats.
Meow. 4 guineas. Rabbit, hamster, a zoo.
4 guinea pigs, hamster, rabbit,
Me.
fish, and a husband.
Hello.
Right, I'm going to dot around the bottom here just to blend up from that bottom into where the tooth area is. And dotting just helps blend it up a little bit. Same round here actually. So we're just getting it to look really messy at the minute. It is Coffee Man. Okay, let's go with mango. And we're just gonna fill in, leave some highlights. Do you have maple? GB3? Maple might do the trick. I'm surprised you don't have like yellow. Or even caramel? Mimosa? Can't think off the top of my head quite how... No, I didn't want to do that. Alright, hang on. Oh, okay. Okay, I wouldn't have a clue then. I just got my colour codey out for the markers. So the one I'm using is light yellow, but anything within this range, to be honest, will be perfectly fine. So again, remember, we're not being perfect to the reference. I'm not expecting perfection at all. This is all about having fun, just getting light versions of the colours. So don't panic, please, Georgina. Just enjoy it, my lovely. Put that back. Just a few markers, not many. Okay, right, I'm going to do this for TikTok. This is my marker collection right now. So this is all of them. And my fancy microphone, which colour changes. Yeah, so yeah, I do have quite a few. I'm not going to lie. So anyway, let's carry on with the teeth. you having the shortest game ever?
Oh, boy, an hour.
They vary depending on pack size, because you can get them in packs of 6. You can buy them individually. I'm pretty sure they're... Well, I'm not even going to guess, actually. Let me... Depends where you get them. So they will vary. But if you want to buy them on an individual basis, you'll have to get them from Crafters Companion. And they have a UK and US site. I think... Oh, I don't know why my little camera's gone now. Stupid thing. It's reset at some point. There we go. Stupid camera. Crafter's Companion. Let me try and find the cost for you quickly. So if I put Illustrator marker, I think they're about £1 something per pen. Oh, for God's sake, the site's under maintenance, so I can't tell you, sadly. But again, it varies on the retailer. It really does vary. But as I say, you can buy them in packs of 6 to 12. Or they do, actually no, I think 12 is the biggest pack they do now. So just to give you an idea, so you can see how well in the lines it's kept and how crisp the edges of the lines actually are. And that's how much bleed through we've had, which actually isn't a lot. Yeah, they do sell them on Amazon, yeah. There's a link in my bio which takes you to my Amazon list of items that I use on a regular basis. So if you go in there, you'll see all the different tools that I use, and all the Spectrum stuff's in there. Right, so now we're going to keep going darker. We're just going to have it in a little bit less area. We can go much darker around here because that all needs going very dark. Again, I'm going to dot around where it meets. Again, it's just another form of blending them up without you having to do tons of work. So what I'm going to do now is come back over with my mid, which for me was Mango. I'm just going to blend over where I've done those dark areas. And then I'm going to go over with my lightest. Again, just blends it all. And it is pretty dark in there, so I am actually going to use my blue black. Just going to wait for that to dry a little bit. I shall have a sip of my coffee. Hopefully it's not going to burn my mouth. Good soup. You don't want tons of dark, but you do want a little bit in between the teeth here and there. Thank you. So we've got, like, I've purposely made a crack on this tooth just to give it a little bit of interest, so we can go up onto that one. And as I say, it's very dark round here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit here, and I'm going to come back in with my darkest of the oranges, which is practically red. I don't know why they call it orange, but then I'm just going to rub over the whole lot, blend it over the whole lot. Pumpkin seeds there in the pumpkin puke, for lack of a better word. You just got to keep blending it out. You really have. You just got to keep working on the blending. I think we could probably bring that all the way out into here. The original was a commission, lovely. So the original has sold. It's gone off to his new home. But there are prints available in my shop of the lion. Okay, I am loving the way his teeth are coming out, I have to say. Zombie pumpkin, zombie Santa, zombie Easter bunny. Can't think of a summer one though. Zombie sunflower. Was that bit like that? Zombie plants versus zombies. You could have a crispy person. I'm dual feeding over on YouTube as well, so I promise I'm not talking to myself. I'm just talking to multiple people. Thank you. Right, I'm going to blend over again with my mid-tone, which for me is mango. So each time it should just look a bit more 3D. So we've got a lot more work to do up over here. So that whole section needs darkening in there. Right, I'm going to let that dry off a little bit. So even then, even after all that, look how little bleed there is through the paper. Even after all that. Hang on a minute, Rob, don't do this to me. No, and when did they come out? Rob, don't do that. Now I need to go and have a look. I don't know how you can make them less shiny unless you're using less graphite. I find that very weird. Okay, so I'm just coming up into here with my pencil now. So the pencil I'm using is Caput Mortem Violet. think for behind where the eye is sitting, I may even bring in the Payne's Grey wherever I put that. Thank you. I wouldn't bother. Well, it's up to you. I personally don't like water-soluble graphite. I find it very strange stuff to work with. I mean, I have worked with it, but personal preference, I guess. Ignore what I'm saying. Try whatever you will. I need to add a little bit more texture on this bit, but we'll keep working through with the pencil. So you can see how well pencils sit on top of markers. See, I don't recommend using this if you're doing somebody's £500 pet portrait, because they're not archival at all. They are dye based and they will reduce in the sun very quickly. Although my kids have some artwork I've done it years ago and they're still looking fresh, but then they've not been in direct sunlight. Let's add some notches. Oh god, that was a thorough break. I can't believe I didn't even know they were bringing new pencils out. My sister does. She's incredible. If you want to look her up, she's called Squishy Kitty with eyes on the end, not Y's. She does a lot of digital drawing. She does do traditional. Everyone's been obsessed with her Boo Bees lately. My mum used to draw quite a lot. My dad's very handy with his hands, but he not really in the drawing sense. He was a very good mechanic for many years. I'm just blending over again. I'm pretty happy with this bit. I don't think a huge amount more needs doing, but I'm missing a massive crack in the lip there. I've added in the reference, so I'm just going to add that in now. Bit late with the good, yeah. Okay, there's glue all over my desk. Bloody kids. Right, buff titanium. And I'm just going to go in and add, I don't need to add much in the way of highlight at all, to be honest. I do want to add a bit here and there. Under here. Pumpkin seeds. Haven't done myself any favours there. I seem to have lined it all a bit wrong. You can obviously spend a lot more time over this than I am. I'm trying to get it done within the 2 hours. Normally my live feeds on YouTube will finish at 10, but I will carry this one on. So let's go with the slime. I'm going to just draw around the seeds. Hey Kim. Whose idea was it to add pumpkin puke? Oh. %90 of it is in pen, yeah. There's a little bit of colour pencil on top. But again, I'm not worried about keeping my pencil lines perfectly blended here, because again, pen lines, because it will help towards the texture. I love that eyeball. I do like the way that eyeballs come out. So I'm just leaving where the seeds would be white. He's certainly got a pleasing grin, hasn't he? They are Illustrator markers by Spectrum Noir. If you notice, I've gone straight in with my mid-tone. I haven't even bothered about a light colour. Just gone in with my mid-tone, leaving white space. What I might do is just like the odd splodge. And we're going to go in with the darkest. I'd love to do that, Rob. Oh, yay! Good, I'm glad, Sarah. Sorry for the delay, my lovely. But I had to reprint the postage label because the weight went up. So obviously I couldn't use the original label, so apologies for it being a bit longer than normal. Again, I'm just making a mess. There's no point in being methodical doing this type of thing. Tote bags, such good quality. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy you're pleased with them. I'm so nervous whenever I do a new product. So the fact you're happy with the tote bag, they're 100% cotton, so they're really nice tote bags. And a really nice size as well, actually. I am genuinely looking at quotes for hoodies though, with the planchette design on there that people were interested in. I'm trying to figure out the most cost effective way of doing it, because so far it looks like it's going to cost me over £20 a jumper. Right, I'm now actually going to go with my lighter, and I'm just going to blend here and there with the lighter colour. I'm not blending over the whole lot. Just want to soften some of the harder edges. So this is my lightest of the yellows that I've used through the drawing. This bit, I think what I might do is just bring that round a little bit and have it underneath. Just change the shape of that bit, I think. While I have it in my hand, let's add some shadow. So I'm just going to add a few shadow lines, not tons, but enough to give it a bit of more depth. They're Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers. They're my favourite markers to use. They're really good quality and they don't cost the earth. Zoom out a bit on YouTube so I don't lose off screen again. Thank you for asking so nicely. I don't really do joint lives though, I'm afraid, as I am doing this one over YouTube as well. Can't decide what I want to do with these seeds. I might go over with buff titanium just to stop them being such a stark white from the paper though. Okay, I'm going to grab my mid colour and I'm going to just go over where I've done those pencil lines. Again, it just helps soften them. Go with the buff titanium. I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, that works. So for me, I'm using buff titanium. You can use a very light cream or an ivory type colour, but buff titanium is perfect for this type of job because it's such a soft pencil. So I guess if you're using Prismacolor, it will work quite well for you. Yeah, it just gives it a nice bit of shadow. Highlight here and there. touch under this one. And what we got? We got this one here. Just doing a light, I'm not going very heavy at all, just a light outline just on the ones that are sitting on the outside. I should have done one stuck in his teeth, shouldn't I? That would have been quite funny. Let's see if I can get that to work. I don't know whether that's going to look like a seed or not, but it does work, I think, actually. I think oh dear. Hi Leslie. What do you think about makeup? My kiddo loves it. I can't wear it anymore. I'm allergic to a lot of it, so it causes me like really bad watery eyes and stuff, so I don't wear it very often at all now. Thank you, Leslie. I think the seeds work okay. I was a bit worried. I think they might need a little bit of yellow over them though. I'm going to go with my light yellow and I'm going to tint them, I think. That might not be dark enough actually. I think it's okay for the ones out here. I wonder if adding a touch of highlight not that you're going to see it much, but definitely better. I'm just going to bring out some of the shadows a little bit more so it doesn't feel so liney, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So like the shadow here, I can bring out a little bit further so it looks like it's sticking upwards. And then I'm going to show you how you can do a shadow underneath him. Bring it all together. Yeah, I paint with acrylic. Once all the series are done, I'm going to be doing some paintings on there too, based around the series that I've done. Okay, a little bit of highlight just down there. I think the main base of the pumpkin is done. I think he's practically done. I don't think he needs a lot more at all. I'm quite happy with how he's turned out. So we'll work on the shadow underneath. Am I happy with that bit? I think I am. Yeah, I think I am. Yay, nice one, Leslie. Okay. I haven't sold a print in a couple of weeks, so I'm hoping, well, it's probably a bit late for Halloween now, but hey ho, hey ho. I do like his crookedness of his teeth. I might make a couple of these a little bit lighter. Yeah, not bad for 2 hours work, is it? So let's do the shadow then. So I think we'll stick with the ice greys. We're similar to the greys that we've done in the eyeball. So yeah, that is true, Bill. That is true. One colour in my hand, totally. So we're going to go straight away for the darkest colour underneath him. Wrong colour. Damn it. Did you hear my absolute panic then? Not that it really matters, to be honest. Don't follow it round. Whatever you do, don't follow it round. You literally come out straight. Okay, so you come out straight. And then as you come down to the puke, for again, lack of a better word, you just want a little bit underneath certain sections. Again, you come straight out. Well, yeah, but I guess in a way, it's not necessarily a mistake as such, you know. I'd just take the panic out and then you lot won't panic so much then. She says. I mean, actually, in all fairness, it doesn't really matter. Because it all adds to it, to be honest. So if I put a little bit in there, you'll see that it's not really a bad thing. You just blend that out. Blend that out. So again, priority is not to follow the pumpkin around. You have to leave the space. So I'm going to go in with the Ice Grey 4. And then we're going to blend out from there. That beautiful marker squeak. And we want a little bit of shadow under the eyeball section, which is sort of roughly here. Blend out this bit. And then I'm going to find my IG2, no, BG2, BG2? IG2, no, I was right in the first place. IG2, 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 where are you? Trouble is, my kid uses my pens and never puts them back in the right place. So I can't find my IG2. Right, I shall have to use my other marker. Oh, hang on, is that it? And again, IG2, blend out. Then you can get your blender pen, which is somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. There we go. And then I'm literally just, oh crap, clean it off. It's still got the orange from the pumpkin on there. And we're gonna just go over the very edges. In fact, I'm going to grab my favourite blender if it's where it should be, which it probably is. Again, you've just got to keep going until you really saturate the paper. Is it wrong to find that noise quite satisfying? I'm missing what you're all saying. I'm sketching out my pumpkin design on A6. Tiny! The depth you've created is awesome. Oh, thank you. Does it? I'm sorry. If I get the brush, it might be a bit nicer. Let's get the brush. It might be a bit nicer on your ears. There you go. Just gently working over. So basically you have a classic and then you have the illustrator, and they're both exactly the same markers in the sense of the colours that they have, but this has a wedge tip, which actually I really love drawing with. It's discounted quite a lot and it shouldn't be really. They're actually really good to use. So I'm just going to keep going over. If I want, I mean, I can get my IG1 wherever that's gone. It's going to have to be in the wedge, I'm afraid. So I'll try not to be too noisy with it. Thank you. The only bit that's annoying me is that bit there. You must have Spectrum. Do you not? Any colouring pencils, honestly. I mean, preferably they need to be alcohol based, because alcohol based will give you the blending that you need, because there's only so much blending you can do with non-alcohol based colouring pens. But I mean, if you want to give it a go, because it's really, you know, you can use your pencils over the top. It really doesn't matter. I think that we could actually be done. Do some little shadows. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Fee. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, I think I'm just fiddling now. If you stay on TikTok for the moment, I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody on YouTube, but we are pretty much done. So if you do have a go for those guys on YouTube, yeah, please do link me if you have a go. Obviously on Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is that you post, because I'd love to see what you do with them. I really, really would. And don't forget that the link for the line work and the image is on my website, BonnitaDoodles.com. Just go to the bit where it says blog section and it'll be in there. And it's also got the previous tutorials still up on there if you want to have a go on that. So thank you very much for everybody who joined me on YouTube tonight. I'm going to shut down the YouTube live, but if you hang on TikTok, I can give you a better view on TikTok in a moment. But thank you ever so much for everybody watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. Happy drawing.